The morning on the Camino de Muxía starts like a downpour. The roads are flooded and the water is lashing at us from all sides. Mike and I somehow make it to the fork in the road, and we take meaningful photos that reflect our mood very well. Mike is honest. I, on the other hand, try to force myself to grin broadly because I'm still trying to counter the shitty weather with positivity, albeit implausibly. It's hard to imagine if you haven't been there. Somehow a fitting last day of our trip, don't you think? Incidentally, I spend most of the first 4 kilometers walking in complete darkness along the main road, and sometimes along a path in the forest until I reach the Iglesia de Santa Baia de Dumbria, where the first sparkles of artificial lighting tickle me. A little later, I find shelter in a bar where I have breakfast and helping hands to help me undress and put on my poncho. They are other pilgrims, so I'm not completely alone, even if I feel like I am today. That's how it goes here in the morning. Incidentally, I only used the cameras sparingly, for good reason. The rain has slightly affected the microphones, as you can hear or not hear here. Oh my god, what is that? A lake that I have to cross. I should have brought a rubber dinghy. Stupid me. The water is really deep, probably up to my calf. How am I supposed to cross that little Loch Ness? I can't walk along the side. Everything is closed there. Now I have a problem, I think. The path has become a river. You know what? I think I'll just run through it now. It doesn't help. 1, 2, 3, and off we go.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, und los! Fuck! Ah, Scheißdreck! Ich bin nass.
Oh my, I'm soaked. Next time, I'll bring rain pants and yellow rubber boots. A kingdom for a warm oven.
Mist, Alter. Alter, ich bin nass. Ein Königreich für einen warmen Ofen.
Incidentally, on the first day from Santiago to Muxia, I had a pebble in my left shoe that accompanied me the whole day. Not to say bothered me. At some point, this pebble switched to my right shoe, and I don't know how it did it. But it was then annoying my right foot. It just changed sides. On the second day, I suddenly had 2 pebbles in my shoes, one on the left and one on the right. And at some point, they were both on the left. On the third day, after a while, I felt 4 pebbles in my shoes. 2 on the left, 2 on the right, There were 2 small stones and 2 larger stones. I had to tackle a few climbs before I saw the sea, and in the meantime all 4 stones left me. When I saw the sea in front of Muxia, all the pebbles had disappeared from my shoes. I like to imagine them living somewhere here in Galicia, in a little house made of stones. Father, mother, and 2 little pebble children who, like a real family somewhere here on this earth, live very small, tiny, yet happy lives in their unassuming world of belonging and cheerful playfulness. That's not nonsense, by the way. It really happened. That's why I'm telling it here. And then suddenly there it was, my destination for today, Muxia. And the very first thing I did was make a serious mistake. I trudged through the town past the pilgrim's office where you get your Compostela. The office was open and I thought I'd just go to the church first, do my rounds and come back later. But the office had long since closed, and so I went home empty-handed today without a Compostela. But not really. I'm going back with the reason to come back again and with lots of great memories. For example, reaching the stone with the 0.0 kilometer mark for the 2nd time. Thank you. I am so grateful. And I don't need a certificate for this gratitude. Watching. I hope you understand me.
Ich hoffe, ihr versteht mich.
There are some big rocks near the church with interesting features, but you know, it was so stormy that I didn't dare go near the water. More reasons to come back. You can find more info about the sites here in the video description. And did you notice it? There was an unexpected little happy ending after all. Yes, the wind, it almost blew me away. When even the seagulls are fighting, you know what's going on. But it didn't rain, and the sun even came out for a bit. I was really pleased about that. On the last day, the sun came out as if to say, you just need patience. Every dark path comes to an end, and you will be all the happier when it does. It was still windy, as you can see here. By the way, that's where the pilgrim's office is. If you're ever here, go straight there. They're closed later. I'll tell you how it is. Then you'll have to come back again, and next time you'll get 2 Compostelas unless you come by bus. Speaking of which, I have to catch mine. It will be Monbus bus station, where I see someone who reminds me of David from the Casa de los Dioses outside Astorga, who said, sharing will save this society. But it wasn't him, but he looked like him. In Santiago, I meet up with my Camily again, Tom and Kirsten. How unexpectedly beautiful that was. We last saw each other in Camino in Portugal. This is us. This is our Camino family. Not least because we unexpectedly meet again on the last day of our journey. Once again to all of you out there who are watching this video and have never been on the Camino, Camino Magic and the Camino family are truly there when you set out. Get going. Get going. Go on the Camino. Before I set off on the Camino Francés last year, the way spoke to me. I was homeless for 2 months for piratical reasons, so I was faced with the question of what I could do during that time. My first thought led me to the Northern Lights, to Northern Cape, but that is probably a bit cold in spring. So my gaze continued to roam over the map of Europe and quickly got stuck on Spain. Wait a minute, I thought. There's the Way of St. James. It could offer a good infrastructure for 4 to 5 weeks. I'll just go there. Yes, I'm going on the Way of St. James. It's also just right for the crisis I'm going through. And when I started researching, I became convinced that it was my destiny to walk this path. The first thing I noticed online was Efrén's videos, especially from 2017. They set the tone that I heard and followed, and that made me understand. Sebastian, your plan is right. Go on the Way of St. James. This is the right path for you right now. You belong there.
And so I'm leaving the pavement behind, heading to the open country. Now if you ask me what my expectations of El Caminos are, is that leaving all the stress of your daily life behind and just going back to a simpler time, to embrace the stillness of El Camino.
Long story short, a few weeks later, I reached the Apostles' grave, and a little later, the end of the world. Efrén is not entirely innocent of this. And so today, a circle closes for me, and a little later one for Mike, but more on that later. It was so unlikely that I would meet Efrén today that we would be in Santiago at the same time.
Entering Spain in style. That's the way I like to do it this time around.
So everyone, I'm currently at the monastery hotel here where Mike and I spent the night, right next to the cathedral, and I'm about to meet Efrén, who is quite popular and one of the biggest Camino YouTubers. I'm really looking forward to it because he sent me on the route last year. I watched a lot of his videos in preparation and thought to myself, okay, this could really save my life. Then I set off, largely thanks to his videos. I'm a bit excited, I have to say, because it's super unlikely that the two of us will meet here. Well, he's here more often, but I'm not really here that often, and we're in Santiago at the same time, on the same day. He's leaving again tomorrow, and I'm leaving again tomorrow. It feels like Camino magic for me at least, and definitely for my side. He doesn't know me, but I know him, so I'll keep you up to date.
Yeah, you know, I got this one. I had the microphone behind the scenes. And the wind muff, I lost it. And you can buy it separate.
I lost it in Porto.
Exactly.
I lost it in Porto.
That sucks that they don't sell it to you like separate. So
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm now back here in Santiago, and look who I've met. I'm sure you all know him.
what's going on, guys?
This is Efrén from the YouTube channel Walk with Efrén. Make sure you check out his channel. We're going to find a bar now, have a beer or two, and then I'll continue tomorrow. I have to say I'm a bit starstruck, but it'll settle down again. I'm pretty sure it will.
So, Efrén, how's it going?
Good, how about you?
I'm fine.
We're gonna do an interview? Let's do it.
Yeah, a quick interview with one question.
Sure, tell me.
Why are you on the Camino?
Why aren't we all? Just out here enjoying it, filming, meeting new people, eating the food, the landscape. Everything is just perfect out here. So if we can just do it and document it for others to see, it's a win-win for everybody.
That's it. I don't have any questions left. I'm done. History in the making. This is Efrén.
About to take off.
Yeah. With the things he likes to do.
We hung out here on the park bench for a while. The cathedral is over there.
Drüben ist da, genau da. Die Kathedrale. Genau da. What is he doing? I don't know.
I gotta go over here.
Okay.
Lighting is perfect here.
Now I'm learning some new skills, I guess.
I think I'm gonna come back already. I mean, I still have 75% battery, but...
Und jetzt nochmal live from behind the scenes for Efrén and me.
Yeah.
He's doing the job, I'm just watching him doing the job.
Documenting.
The meeting was fantastic. Efrén is a really chilled, friendly guy. Just like he comes across in his videos, he's the same in real life. Of course, I hardly had the camera on. That seemed obtrusive and therefore inappropriate. You guys will have to watch his videos to find out more about him. I can only encourage you to do so. We go to a restaurant together, sit outside and talk about all sorts of things, and at some point realize that no one is serving us. Efrén, whose native language is Spanish, immediately asks the waiters. They tell him that the ownership of the table we are sitting at has not been settled between the surrounding restaurants, so no waiter dares to serve us, so we don't get anything to eat or drink. We both have to laugh. But you know, this story about not being served is a recurring theme throughout this year's Camino adventure. So we go to another bar and it's like it is among pilgrims. I tell him about my reasons for walking the Camino, and he tells me about his. Efrén, who has worked in the media industry all his life, confirmed exactly what I knew intuitively at best. If you have a problem as a pilgrim, then turn the camera on, because then it becomes interesting for the viewer. It creates suspense to see how you solve this problem or how you deal with it if you can't solve it. Thank you, Efrén. Your videos helped through the worst period of my life and to get started on the way, so you were an important help in solving one of my biggest problems. All the best to you on your adventures and buen camino. Maybe we'll bump into each other again sometime. The craziest part is yet to come and has to do with Mike's experiences. Well, his route to Fisterra was less beautiful than expected, as it was characterized by rain, mud, and grey clouds. But what the end of the world owed him was subsequently given to him.
Like I keep running into cows.
Good weather, sunshine, and a second Camino, namely the Camino Primitivo, which Mike then walked and finished about 2 weeks later in Santiago de Compostela.
They're everywhere.
There he met the charity hiker Sven, who, it's hard to believe, also arrived in Santiago on the same day, and since then, nobody can tell me that there is no such thing as Camino magic. While I met Efrén, the pilgrim whose videos inspired me, by an unlikely coincidence, the same thing happened to Mike. Sven's videos had inspired Mike over the years to set off on the Camino de Santiago. Mike lives in Florida and follows the videos of a German. I am from Germany and follow the videos of Efrén, who lives in Florida, and Mike meets Sven and I meet Efrén by chance in Santiago de Compostela, And for both of us, it means the end of our Camino journey this year. Gosh, I can't get that together in my head, but it happened. And whenever I'm not feeling well and I remember this story, I think, hey, don't worry, the Camino provides. Everything happens for a reason, and the way will take care of you. Trust that. After a good breakfast, it was time for me to say goodbye to Kirsten and Tom, my Camino family, and I took the bus over 400 kilometers, which is 250 miles to Fatima, 17 days on foot, but only just over 4 hours by bus. Fatima and the story behind it attracted me even as a small child. As the day on the Cius Islands was cancelled due to the weather, I had an extra day to spend here. You can find the video separately here on the channel. I'll link it in the video description. And then I took the plane back from Lisbon. The accommodation in Lisbon wasn't that cheap, so I opted for a, well, let's say dump near the airport. And that was an experience.
So, ihr Lieben, jetzt bin ich hier in Lissabon.
So, dear ones, I've now arrived here in Lisbon. Quick story time. I'm in a Tesla for the second time in my life. You have a monitor like this here. You can hardly hear the driving noise.
Man hört das Fahrgeräusch kaum. Mal gucken, wie das Hostel ist.
The Uber driver asked me if I was sure I wanted to get off here. From the outside, it was just a row of derelict buildings. It took me a while to find the right entrance. Inside, the walls were torn open, exposed cables were hanging out, and there was no light, which meant I had to use the lamp on my smartphone for orientation, and somewhere behind the stairs was a kind of hatch through which I had to climb into the area of my room. Only in the room itself did I have a ceiling light. Well, I thought, it will work for one night. Early in the morning at 5 a.m., I took the Uber cab to the airport and headed home. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up and you know that this channel thrives on support, i.e., you would make me very happy if you subscribe to my channel. Hope you enjoyed the trip. Thanks for watching. See you on the next adventure. Buen Camino.
Jetzt bin ich hier gerade in Lissabon, am Flughafen angekommen.
Hi, I've just arrived here in Lisbon, very close to the airport. I got a code by email and directions that led me to this little nondescript safe, and then I had to enter my code here, which I also got by email, to get my keys. Now I hope they fit. This is the room. There's a door, then we have this very stylish wardrobe, which I haven't opened yet. The bed does what beds do. It's a room with a bed with this highlight here, this little plant that's not real, but I'd like to imagine that it is real. If I can't sleep tonight, I'll turn on the light and look at it, and then I probably won't even hear the noise of the plane. I'm going to put some pilgrim oil on my legs, and that's it for now. I don't yet know when I'll continue next time. I don't know where it will take me, but I do know one thing. I'll take you with me and thank you for watching. See you on the next Camino somewhere here on this globe. Until then, ciao and bye.
Schau mal, das hier ist so ein bisschen das Highlight des Zimmers.
Look, this is a bit of a highlight in the room. It gives the whole thing a bit of a spacious, pleasant, cozy atmosphere. I think that if I can't sleep tonight, I'll just switch on the light for a moment and look at this delicate little plant and forget about the noise of the flight path I'm currently in. I have to say that this plant makes the room really cozy. It creates a really homely, pleasant, beautiful atmosphere. With that, I say good night. Bye from Lisbon. See you tomorrow. Soon. Sometime. Ciao. Thanks a lot.